Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dua Shrar. It's September 28th, 2023. Derek is off today, so let's send it over to meteorologist Bill Grahl with our morning forecast. And Bill, tonight we kick off Oktoberfest, so I'm sure we've got a lot of viewers waiting to see what the temperatures will look like as they head out to celebrate.
Yeah, it's looking great for the Torchlight Parade tonight, and boy, it's looking downright warm for Oktoberfest weekend. We could be in the low to mid 80s by Saturday and Sunday, believe it or not. All right, a live look through CityCam. It is dry this morning for a change. We have mainly cloudy conditions remaining, though. 71 was the high yesterday, 63 the low. Just under 1/10 of an inch of rain fell yesterday, so much lighter amounts. 70 and 49 are the records, or I should say the averages for today. Record high 89 set in 1904, 27 the record low in 1942. So that 71 yesterday, right on average for the fourth time this month. We've seen 14 days in September with an above average high temperature and 9 days with a below average high. Now, that pesky low that's brought all of the recent rainfall is now centered over southeastern parts of the Great Lakes. So far enough to the east to take the rain chances with it, but still some lingering cloud cover around here. Current temperatures range from 59 at Volk Field to 63 in La Crosse, even a 64 in Boscobel, 60 for you folks in Sparta and Eau Claire. Still plenty of clouds this morning, partial sunshine this afternoon, seasonable temperatures with highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s, right around 72 here in La Crosse. I'll have the rest of my 8-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, let's get to some news this morning. A Sparta man faces federal charges for his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. 37-year-old Charles Walter was arrested yesterday and made his initial appearance in court. He's charged with destruction of government property and several misdemeanors, including entering or remaining in a restricted building and disorderly conduct in the Capitol grounds or buildings. The FBI's Milwaukee and Washington field office are continuing their investigation. The Houston County budget proposal approved this week includes a $1.75 million budget for jail expenses, but county board members want to know if they're better off closing the jail. Under the latest proposal, the jail makes up 5% of the county's 2024 expenses. Sheriff Sweetberg says the jail holds 40 inmates, but on an average day, only 6 are from Houston County. Right now, Winona County pays Houston County to house their inmates, while Winona County builds a new jail. The current discussion is when Winona County stops needing Houston County's help, that revenue will go away and make the jail more expensive. The budget proposal being approved does not mean this is set in stone. The board can still make changes before the hard deadline of December 26. The challenge to La Crosse's 2022 sheriff election has been dismissed. Voter Mary Jo Werner filed a suit challenging how the election's recount was conducted. But yesterday, Judge Elliot Levine dismissed that challenge and said Werner didn't have the standing to file the suit. Sheriff John Siegel won the election by 176 votes and only one vote was changed due to the recount. Werner's challenge also questioned if college students who don't live full-time in La Crosse should be allowed to vote in local races. Senator Tammy Baldwin has joined calls for New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez to resign. Menendez was indicted on charges alleging he aided the government of Egypt in exchange for significant bribes. The senator gave up his chairmanship of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, but says he will not resign and has denied the allegations. Baldwin, in a statement, says the allegations are deeply troubling and it's best for the American people and national security for Menendez to step down. Should the government shut down, military members would not get their paycheck, and only those considered essential would get back pay once the shutdown ends and new funding is approved. Congressman Derek Van Orden of Wisconsin's 3rd District says that can't happen. The Republican is joining the bipartisan Pay Our Troops Act. The bill ensures members of the military continue to get paid if the government shuts down. In a statement, Van Orden said many military men and women are already struggling to make ends meet, and taking away their paychecks as they put their lives on the line to defend America is unacceptable. The Bake Battle is on. Season 9 of Food Network's Halloween Baking Championship is underway, and an Onalaska resident is one of the competitors. Dan Pivovar is one of the 12 bakers selected to compete in this season. The bakers must complete different Halloween-themed baking challenges as they fight to win it all. Pivovar says that while the competition was stressful, it's an experience he'll never forget.
It felt like camp. It felt like camp for bakers, where we just went and we got to make a lot of really silly, amazing, delicious food and have this really great time for this brief moment in our lives. It was really, really neat.
Pivovar says that next week the show features a Frankencake Team Challenge that airs on Food Network Monday at 8. Now, he wasn't able to tell us how he did, so you'll just have to tune in to find out. It's one of La Crosse's biggest events. The 62nd annual Oktoberfest begins today. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall tells us how you can safely enjoy it.
The wait is almost over. This weekend, thousands of people are expected to head to the fairgrounds for the 62nd annual Oktoberfest. And safety will play a massive role in making the fest a successful one.
In order to keep the parade participants and the parade goers safe, that we keep everyone on the parade route. We need their cooperation to hand out items on the side of the route, as well as the parade goers to stay on the side of the route so units can continue to move, marching bands can continue to move as needed.
There will be consequences for disobeying these rules.
We could give citations for encroaching into the streets and possibly disorderly conduct if they're not listening to orders from police officers.
Miller is warning drivers to be extra careful on the road.
There's definitely more people drinking and driving, and so yes, our operating while intoxicated traffic stops definitely go up, and any tickets relating to alcohol consumption definitely go up. So we're going to see an increase in that.
There will be a complimentary shuttle and rideshare is encouraged. Miller also says time management and patience are key to a great time.
You need to come early and you need to take your time and be patient. It's not easy to find parking places. You're going to have to park a ways and walk in. You're going to have to be prepared to walk 2, 3 or more blocks.
These aren't the only ways attendees can stay safe.
La Crosse police are encouraging attendees to charge their phones before coming to Oktoberfest. They say the massive crowds will interfere with cell service. In La Crosse, Jeremy Wall, News 8 Now.
Oktoberfest Board President Patty Barra estimates this year's festival will leave a $26 million impact on the La Crosse community. While a La Crosse tradition, the Festmaster position began in 1962. Jeff and Amy Roble were announced as this year's Festmaster and Fro at last night's Festmaster Ball. Jeff and Amy were both raised in La Crosse, and they spent a lot of their childhood attending parades within the Coulee region. Roble says they're looking forward to reconnecting with previous Festmasters along with friends and family members.
During the entrance, seeing all the people that, you know, a lot of friends, a lot of family that you don't get to see as often as you would like. But this is going to be kind of cool for a few days. Everybody's going to be around. We can see all the people that it might take 2 years to see, and we're going to get a chance to see them all in just a matter of a few days.
Oktoberfest will kick off on September 28th, running through September 30. General admission passes will cost $20, which includes access to the grounds throughout the 3-day event. To purchase tickets, you can visit OktoberfestUSA.com. La Crosse's north side is bound to be bright tonight. The Torchlight Parade will officially kick off Oktoberfest that starts at 7. Along with the floats and marching bands, the new Oktoberfest royal family will make their public parade debut. Make sure to bring your glow sticks to help illuminate the route. The parade starts on Gillette Street before going south down on Caledonia Street. Childcare isn't just an issue in Wisconsin, it's a nationwide crisis. And with a pandemic-era grant set to expire in 2 days, it's set to get worse before it gets better. That's coming up on your morning news. And one of the biggest challenges that electric vehicle owners face is making sure they have a place to charge them. We'll take a look at a new Xcel Energy program that will help you have an EV charger put into your garage. That and more is coming up this morning, but for now we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Prost! Just in time for Oktoberfest, it's National Drink Beer Day. September 28th is also the birthday of Arthur Guinness, the founder of one of the most popular beer brands worldwide. While historians believe beer may date as far back as 13,000 years, the earliest written record of beer can be traced to ancient Mesopotamia around 4000 BC. In Wisconsin, beer is widely associated with social events, sports, and festivals like Oktoberfest. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Welcome back and a good Thursday morning to all of you. Dog walking forecast for today. I've got green paws for this morning, this afternoon, and this evening. We finally have gotten rid of the rain chances. Still some leftover clouds, patchy fog in spots this morning. Partial sunshine this afternoon, and then really a pleasant fall evening as we head into tonight. Look at this very handsome fella, Chubbs. Boy, I love the blue bandana. Looks like maybe a fresh haircut, but Chubbs is probably hoping to take a walk with Lori at some point today, and it's not going to be a bad day for it at all. Now, we're starting with some cloud cover this morning, but that pesky low has finally shifted far enough to the south and east into the southeastern Great Lakes to take the rain chances with it. But again, some leftover clouds to start today, and that'll be with us through much of the morning. Temperatures range from 59 over at Volk Field, 60 degrees in Black River Falls, Eau Claire, and Sparta, 61 in Winona, Preston, and Decorah, and 63 in La Crosse. So mostly cloudy this morning, partial sunshine this afternoon, seasonable temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. We'll see a high in La Crosse around 72 degrees. Torchlight Parade forecast for tonight is looking fantastic. Just clear to partly cloudy conditions, 67 at 7 p.m., dropping to about 63 by 9 o'clock. I'll have the rest of my 8-day forecast coming up in about 3 minutes.
In your consumer news this morning, as it turns out, Wisconsin isn't the only U.S. state struggling with a major shortage of childcare. The issue is nationwide. Unfortunately, it appears that the childcare crisis will get worse before it gets better. That's because the Child Care Stabilization Grant Program will end in just 2 days. If that happens, more than 70,000 child care providers around the country will shut down, while 3.2 million children will lose their child care. Joe Biden was in the city by the Bay this weekend, while the president was mostly in San Francisco to raise funds for his 2024 campaign. He also took the chance to talk about AI and developing technology. Biden met up with his Council on Science and Technology, including executives from Microsoft, Google, and AMD, and other experts. During the visit, the president announced that he will issue an executive order on AI this fall. The executive order will help ensure that the technology is used responsibly. When buying an electric vehicle, one of the main things you need to be aware of is the amount of chargers in and around your area. Aaron Hassanzadeh takes a closer look at a new Xcel program that helps to turn your home into your own EV charging station.
Richard Herod III is in the car business, but today we're here to see his personal ride.
On level 2 charging, this vehicle can get a full charge in under 6 hours.
He drives a plug-in EV hybrid and rents this charging unit from Xcel Energy.
It's nice to know that my charger is always under warranty, and if something's wrong, I call tech support.
I would say that this is a major way to eliminate a lot of the home charging or charging anxiety.
Because that's part of the buying process.
Absolutely.
Is thinking, how am I going to pull this off logistically?
Absolutely.
Here's how Xcel's Accelerated Home program works. You can rent the charger from them for $16.50 a month plus your usage. You don't pay for the install or any maintenance, but you do pay for any electrical work that's done to prep your home.
We take a look at the panel, 240 is the typical, and if you have a dryer in your house, you have 240. It is very home specific, but generally on average we see around 1,500 for a home install.
The electrical work to install a charger at a newer home like Richards?
The expense this last go around was under $500.
Customers can also purchase a charger from Xcel for $770 up front and $6.68 a month plus your usage. That option comes with a 3-year warranty. Whether you rent or purchase, you can get better usage rates if you recharge from midnight to 6 a.m.
At the end of the day, it translates to about $1 a gallon equivalency on our programs.
Because I have a plug-in hybrid, you know, I've been able to charge for less than $1 a day. Spending $1 a day for electricity versus hundreds of dollars a month on gasoline has really worked out for me personally.
If you are on the go and need to charge your EV, there are free apps like PlugShare, ChargePoint, EVgo on both the Apple App Store and Google Play. Well, that's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Bill and get today's forecast.
Well, as advertised yesterday, we still had some scattered showers, but they were quite a bit lighter than what we've seen the past several days when several inches of rain has fallen across the region. But yesterday, the 24-hour total showing most spots in that trace to less than 1/10 of an inch. A few spots of green there indicating maybe 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 inch in portions of Vernon County, northern Richland County as well. Again, dry across the region this morning. Some cloud cover, though, 63 at the airport and downtown at the station. Dew point at 59, wind is calm, and the Mississippi rising a bit, 5.58 feet. Good morning to you folks in Eau Claire. Cloudy there as well, 60 degrees, dew point at 56, and winds out of the east at 5 to 10. Now, visibility trackers showing just some light patchy fog in spots this morning, but as we head into late tonight and tomorrow morning, there could be some more widespread and thicker fog, especially over about the eastern half of the viewing area. So just keep that in mind for those early morning plans tomorrow on that Friday. And I know a lot of you will be up and at it early on for kind of preparing for the tapping of the golden keg later tomorrow morning. That fog, by the way, will mix out by mid-morning. Temperatures pretty uniform across the region, anywhere from 60 degrees at Volk Field and Black River Falls to 63 in La Crosse, even a 64 down in Boscobel, 61 in Sparta, Viroqua, Preston, and Decorah. Winds fairly light from the east-southeast, either calm to about 6 miles per hour. Finally, that pesky low has shifted far enough to our south and east to take the rain chances with it. Still some leftover cloud cover, though, in our neck of the woods, and that'll be with us this morning before we get into some partial clearing this afternoon. Now, I'm starting to keep a closer eye on this disturbance out to the west. I mentioned this yesterday. It could bring a small chance for a shower late tomorrow night and into early Saturday. Sky Tracker will show that. Again, some clouds this morning and then get into more clearing or sunshine this afternoon. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy. Watch for those areas of low cloudiness and fog, especially over the eastern half of the viewing area. Now, tomorrow, dry and a bit warmer. But again, that disturbance out to the west, bringing that chance for some showers and isolated thunderstorms. This is 6 a.m. on Saturday. You can see northwestern parts of the viewing area under the gun for that slight chance of showers. So I'll keep a close eye on that for you, especially for the La Crosse area for the big Maple Leaf Parade starting at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Temperatures today, lower 70s in the La Crosse area. Most spots will see highs between about 68 and 72 degrees. That's right on track for the later parts of September in the region. So for today, mostly cloudy this morning, partial sunshine this afternoon, a high of 72. Partly cloudy tonight, areas of fog late, lows near 58. Bright moonlight, that moon will be full tomorrow night. Again, 78 tomorrow, 83 on Saturday with that small chance of a shower in the morning, especially north and west, and staying summer-like Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, highs still in the 80s. Slight chance of showers and thunderstorms start up about the middle of next week and continue Thursday and Friday with a slight chance of showers. Cooler weather by then as well. 71 on Thursday, 60s for highs next Friday. There is much more to come on your morning news. The Sports Blitz is right after the break, but first, here are some of the stories that made headlines on this day in history.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, who saw this one coming? Wednesdays are usually a bit slow here at News 8 when it comes to the high school sports season, but talk about a blockbuster. The Bucks basically coming out of nowhere yesterday to land one of the best point guards in the game. Damian Lillard officially heading to the Badger State. The 7-time All-Star has spent his entire 11-year NBA career up to this point in Portland, but now the former Trailblazer is hoping to blaze a new trail with Giannis and the Bucks. Lillard has done it all so far. He won Rookie of the Year back in 2013. He's made 7 All-NBA teams. He was also named one of the top 75 players of all time. The one thing the 33-year-old has not done yet is win an NBA championship, and now Lillard's got his best chance to make that happen. In 58 games last season, Lillard averaged almost 33 points a game for the Blazers, also scored a career-high 71 against the Rockets back in February. Now, there's always two sides to a trade, the upside as well as the downside. Obviously, the good news for Bucks fans is Lillard coming to Milwaukee. The bad news, they'll have to say goodbye to one of their most beloved players. Jrue Holiday spent the last 3 seasons in Milwaukee, and the 2-time All-Star was instrumental in the Bucks' 2021 championship run. They'll definitely miss Jrue on the defensive side of the court. Holiday's made 5 all-defense teams in his 14-year career. It is being reported, though, that Portland will not be Holiday's final landing spot. Instead, the Blazers do plan on shopping him over the next few weeks. Portland will receive Milwaukee's unprotected first-round pick in 2029, and the Bucks also sending Grayson Allen to Phoenix in this 3-team deal. Tough night for the UWL volleyball team. The Eagles on the road last night in Whitewater. They fall to the 8th-ranked Warhawks in 3 sets. UWL's next conference game is a week from Friday on the road at UW-Stevens Point. Another dominant performance by the Wisconsin volleyball team, the #1 squad in the country, on the road last night in Columbus. Badgers making it look easy. They sweep number 22 Ohio State. Wisconsin improves its perfect record to 12-0 on the season. Badgers are back home Sunday to host rival Michigan. NL Central champs back at it last night. Brewers trailing by 2 in the 6th until Tyrone Taylor lines a base hit in a left. That scores Willie Contreras. Then later in the inning, tying run coming home, but St. Louis forgets the rules. Cards don't even go for the tag. That ties it at 2, and Taylor unties it in the 7th. He finds the gap in left center. Brian Anderson comes on in. Taylor hustles his way to second for an RBI double. Brewers take the lead, and the champs keep finding a way. Milwaukee hangs on for the win. 3-2, the final score. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Breaking overnight, an American soldier from Wisconsin is back on U.S. soil. U.S. military officials say U.S. Army Private Travis King, who was recently released into U.S. custody by North Korea, landed at Joint Base San Antonio Fort Sam Houston this morning. King in July dashed across the border between North and South Korea while on a tour of the demilitarized zone. North Korea's state news agency says King confessed to illegally entering the country and said he had faced racial discrimination and inhumane treatment in the U.S. Army. The Wisconsin native had just been released from a military jail in South Korea for assault and was supposed to be heading back to the U.S. to face more disciplinary charges, but instead of departing, he hopped on a bus tour for the DMZ. It took weeks for North Korea to confirm King was in their custody. He's now expected to face additional charges stateside. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has awarded $232.2 million in grants for suicide prevention. The majority of the grants will help communities build out capacity for the Suicide and Crisis Hotline. Other grants will help assist with suicide prevention efforts at the college level and harder to reach populations. According to the CDC, nearly 50,000 people died by suicide in 2022. If you or someone you know is having suicidal thoughts, call or text the Suicide and Crisis Hotline at 988. The FDA has updated the diabetes drug Ozempic's label after reports of some people developing blocked intestines after using the drug. The medications are designed to mimic a hormone in the body that slows down the passage of food through the stomach. The labels of Ozempic's sister drug Wegovy and another diabetes drug Mounjaro have both also acknowledged reports of possible intestinal blockage after use. The label change comes as Ozempic and Wegovy have recently soared in popularity. 7 Republican presidential candidates took to the stage at the Reagan Library in California last night for their second primary debate, now less than 4 months out from the Iowa caucuses. 2 of the biggest targets of the night were President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump, who once again skipped the debate. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill has a look at the night's biggest moments from New York.
At the second GOP primary debate, 7 presidential hopefuls took aim at President Biden on a range of key issues, like the auto workers strike, immigration, and the economy.
This strike is at Joe Biden's feet. Joe Biden should not be on the picket line. He should be on the southern border.
Bidenomics has failed. Wages are not keeping up with inflation.
Several times, candidates on stage clashed with each other. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley and businessman Vivek Ramaswamy going toe-to-toe over TikTok.
Part of how we win elections is reaching the next generation of young Americans.
TikTok is one of the most dangerous social media apps that we could have. And what you've got, I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say.
Multiple candidates also stepped up their attacks on former President Trump, who skipped the debate to campaign in Michigan.
Donald Trump is missing in action. You're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
Trump still holds a commanding lead in the polls for the first GOP contest in the state of Iowa.
With me as your president, our opponents will lose and our American workers will be the biggest winner of them all.
A spokesman for the former president says he plans to skip the next GOP debate as well.
The next GOP presidential primary debate is scheduled to take place in Miami, Florida on November 8th. Well, Republicans have introduced a bill that would ban gender-affirming care for anyone under 18. If passed, healthcare providers would not be allowed to perform or refer gender transition treatment for minors. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos is one of several Republicans behind the bill. In a memo, the Republicans said, quote, "Our children are not experiments and parents should not be scared or pressured into having their children receive non-medically necessary drugs or irreversible procedures before their brains are fully developed." At least 20 states have enacted similar laws. No experience needed. A new bill says Wisconsin school administrators wouldn't need a license or specific educational training. Republicans behind it say the measure will solve the high turnover and give local residents control of their schools. But Wisconsin's Department of Public Instruction warns the move could create countless liabilities. Current law requires district administrator applicants to have certain requirements, including a teaching or pupil service license. Wisconsin lawmakers heard public testimony on legislation to protect election workers. The bipartisan proposals would make it a felony to attack an election worker. They would also give election workers access to whistleblower protections and make certain information about election officials private to prevent their personal information from being shared online. The legislation comes after civil servants faced increased threats and harassment during the 2020 presidential election. The search is on for a missing 23-year-old tortoise. Its owner is now asking for the public's help in the search for an integral part of their family. Daniela Prezant-Cato has the story.
My best friend and I, we'd catch plenty of turtles out in the pedal boats, bring them home.
Brittany Hudson was 20 years old when she bought Augusta, also known as Gus, from a man in Arizona.
She was only this big, smaller than a dollar bill.
That was 23 years ago.
In college, I would take her to study with me at the park, put her on a leash like a dog. My kids and I take her in a wagon.
But that hasn't been the case since Friday afternoon, when Hudson realized the 25-pound red-footed tortoise escaped from her backyard near East Monroe Street.
She has like a half of a dog cage that she crawls in and hides. Had kind of made her way around that and pushed open the fence somehow and got out.
Hudson has posted flyers all over the area for neighbors to help search for Gus. There are a couple of trails here just about a block from her home, and even though it's been 4 days now, she's hoping Gus hasn't made it past this point.
So then this was open kind of like this, and who knows where she went.
Gus has a black shell with yellow spots, and her head and front legs are a bit yellow with red spots.
We actually alerted the Port Washington Police Department, the Ozaki Humane Society.
She's also taken to social media to alert the community. warning that this species cannot swim. They are only adapted to land. And Gus is notorious for hiding in dark places.
In my heart, I feel like she's just in the bushes in someone's yard or in a garage.
Hudson is praying Gus finds her way back home very soon.
I've been devastated, crying, trying to go on, with life.
Brittany Hudson also said that a reward will be given after Gus is returned home safely. Well, here's Bill to tell us what to expect for our morning commute.
Well, the good news, the rain chances have departed east of the area, but left over a lot of cloud cover. You can see that through CityCam, and a little bit of low cloudiness and patchy fog in spots as well, especially in some of our southern communities. But even there, visibility ranging from about 5 to 9 miles. Schoolcast for this Thursday, September 28th. Again, we're starting with a cloud cover, 62 at 7 a.m. 67 by lunchtime, still mostly cloudy, and then some partial sunshine this afternoon with highs around 72 degrees. Again, that pesky low finally far enough to the east to take the rain chances with it. But as you can see, leftover cloud cover across the tri-state area right now. Temperatures 59 at Volk Field and Black River Falls, 60 in Eau Claire, 61 in Winona, 63 in La Crosse, and 62 in Prairie du Chien. So mostly cloudy this morning, partial clearing this afternoon with highs right around 72 degrees in the La Crosse area. Well, I will have the rest of my 8-day forecast on the other side of the break, but coming up in our Buzz Report, just in time for Halloween season, theaters across the country are showing a classic scare fest. We'll tell you what movie that is in just a few minutes. Welcome back and a good Thursday morning to you. Happy Oktoberfest. If you're in from out of town, welcome to the Coulee region, the Driftless region, and enjoy Oktoberfest. Be safe though, be smart. All right, before we get to that Oktoberfest forecast, let's check the allergy report. First of all, medium symptoms today and tomorrow for weed pollen, low symptoms both days for ragweed, and high symptoms expected for mold spores. Now, finally, we've gotten the rain to move east of the area, but still some low clouds left behind. 63 degrees out at the airport and downtown at the station, dew point at 59. Pressure 30.10, the wind is calm, the Mississippi rising 5.58 feet. 60 degrees for you folks in Eau Claire with a cloudy sky as well, dew point at 56 and winds out of the east at 5 to 10. Now, visibility tracker this morning showing just some light patchy fog in spots, and that will quickly mix out, but we'll hang on to the cloud cover for much of the morning hours. Now, late tonight into tomorrow morning, we could see some more widespread and thicker fog, especially over the eastern half of the viewing area. So just keep that in mind for early Friday morning plans. And then that quickly mixes out by mid-morning. Current temperatures across the tri-state area generally in the upper 50s to lower 60s. 60 at Volk Field, Black River Falls, and Sparta. 61 in Winona and Decorah. 62 in Viroqua. Also 62 in Prairie du Chien. Winds are light, generally from the east-southeast, anywhere from calm to as much as 3 to 7 miles per hour. So that disturbance is finally over the southeastern Great Lakes now, far enough away to take the rain chances with it. But again, as you saw through CityCam, leftover cloud cover in play for this morning. Partial clearing this afternoon. And then I'm tracking this disturbance over the front range of the northern Rockies. That's going to bring a small chance for a shower late tomorrow night and into Saturday morning. You'll see that on SkyTracker. First of all, today, clouds this morning, partial sunshine this afternoon, and then clear to partly cloudy tonight. Again, watch out for that low cloudiness and fog, especially in the eastern communities tomorrow morning. Otherwise, Friday's looking great. Warmer with highs in the mid to upper 70s and a partly cloudy sky. Now, Friday night into Saturday, there's that small rain chance, especially in our northwestern communities. We'll have to watch just how close it gets to La Crosse for that big Maple Leaf Parade on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Today's temperatures, lower 70s in the La Crosse area. Most spots will see highs between about 68 and 72 degrees, and that's right on track for this time of year. Our average high in La Crosse is 70. So 72, mostly cloudy this morning, partial sunshine this afternoon. For tonight, partly cloudy. Watch for that fog late, especially east, 58 for the low. Warmer tomorrow, 78, and then summer-like for the weekend. That small rain chance Saturday morning, especially north and west, but low to mid-80s Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Chance for some showers crops up for the second half of next week. 78 on Wednesday, and then cooler, 71 on Thursday, 60s for highs next Friday. That's the latest check of my 8-day forecast. Now here's Dua with our Buzz Report.
In our Morning Buzz report, Bruce Springsteen is canceling the remainder of his shows this year. The Born to Run singer is reported to be recovering from peptic ulcer disease and is canceling the performances at the behest of his doctors. He had recently canceled several shows in August and September. According to Springsteen, the canceled shows will be rescheduled. Fans who can't make it to the rescheduled shows will have 30 days to get a refund.
She's in there like her cleaning supply.
The latest Taylor Swift debate doesn't revolve around whether she's dating Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, but rather how she got in and out of his private box at Arrowhead. One popular theory is that the Shake It Off singer was smuggled in and out of the box in a popcorn cart. It might sound far-fetched, but in April, the superstar was filmed emerging from a janitor's cart before taking the stage for an Eras concert, and I actually saw her do that at my own Eras concert in the Twin Cities.
I believe we should begin.
With Halloween right around the corner, theaters are kicking off spooky season by paying homage to a horror classic. The extended director's cut of The Exorcist will be shown in theaters around the country to celebrate its 50th anniversary. The screenings will begin this Sunday and continue through the middle of next week. Showings will include a tribute to the film's director, William Friedkin, who passed away this August. Well, before we head to break, it's time for today's Look Who's 8. Sandra is turning 80. She enjoys quilting, baking, and spending time with friends and family. Idana is also turning 80. She's a mother of 2, grandmother of 4, and friend to all. If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is up next. In your morning news now, breaking overnight, an American soldier from Wisconsin is back on U.S. soil. U.S. military officials say Army Private Travis King, who was recently released into U.S. custody by North Korea, landed at Joint Base San Antonio, Fort Sam Houston this morning. King in July dashed across the border between North and South Korea while on a tour of the demilitarized zone. North Korea's state news agency says King confessed to illegally entering the country, and he says he had faced racial discrimination and inhumane treatment in the U.S. Army. The Wisconsin native had just been released from a military jail in South Korea for assault and was supposed to be heading back to the U.S. to face more disciplinary charges, but instead of departing, he hopped on a bus tour for the DMZ. It took weeks for North Korea to confirm King was in their custody. He's now expected to face additional charges stateside. A Sparta man faces federal charges for his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. 37-year-old Charles Walter was arrested yesterday and made his initial appearance in court. He's charged with destruction of government property and several misdemeanors, including entering or remaining in a restricted building and disorderly conduct in the Capitol grounds or buildings. The FBI's Milwaukee and Washington field office are continuing their investigation. The Houston County budget proposal approved this week includes $1.75 million for jail expenses, but county board members want to know if they're better off closing the jail. Under the latest proposal, the jail makes up 5% of the county's 2024 expenses. Sheriff Swedberg says the jail holds 40 inmates, but on an average day, only 6 are from Houston County. Right now, Winona County pays Houston County to house their inmates, while Winona County builds a new jail. The current discussion is when Winona County stops needing Houston County's help, that revenue will go away and make the jail more expensive. The budget proposal being approved does not mean this is set in stone. The board can still make changes before the hard deadline of December 26. Republicans have introduced a bill that would ban gender-affirming care for anyone under 18. If passed, healthcare providers would not be allowed to perform or refer gender transition treatment for minors. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos is one of several Republicans behind the bill. In a memo, the Republicans said, quote, "Our children are not experiments and parents should not be scared or pressured into having their children receive non-medically necessary drugs or irreversible procedures before their brains are fully developed. At least 20 states have enacted similar laws. Should the government shut down, military members would not get their paycheck, and only those considered essential would get back pay once the shutdown ends and new funding is approved. Congressman Derek Van Orden of Wisconsin's 3rd District says that can't happen. The Republican is joining the bipartisan Pay Our Troops Act. The bill ensures members of the military continue to get paid if the government shuts down. In a statement, Van Orden said many military men and women are already struggling to make ends meet, and taking away their paychecks as they put their lives on the line to defend America is unacceptable. A lacrosse tradition, the Festmaster position began in 1962. Jeff and Amy Roble were announced as this year's Festmaster and Frau at last night's Festmaster Ball. Jeff and Amy were both raised in lacrosse, and they spent a lot of their childhood attending parades within the Coulee region. Roble says they're looking forward to reconnections with previous Festmasters along with friends and family members.
During the entrance, seeing all the people that, a lot of friends, a lot of family that you don't get to see as often as you would like, but this is going to be kind of cool for a few days. Everybody's going to be around. We can see all the people that it might take 2 years to see, and we're going to get a chance to see them all in just a matter of a few days.
Oktoberfest will kick off on September 28th, running through September 30. General admission passes will cost $20, which includes access to the grounds throughout the 3-day event. To purchase tickets, you can visit oktoberfestusa.com. Lacrosse's north side is bound to be bright tonight. The Torchlight Parade will officially kick off Oktoberfest. That starts at 7. Along with the floats and marching bands, the new Oktoberfest royal family will make their public parade debut. Make sure to bring your glow sticks to help illuminate the route. The parade starts on Gillette Street before going down south on Caledonia Street.
And the weather is looking fantastic for that Torchlight Parade tonight. 7 p.m. We'll see temperatures around 67, slowly dropping to about 63 by 9 o'clock. Today, though, mostly cloudy this morning, partial sunshine this afternoon. Temperatures topping out around 72 degrees in the La Crosse area. Warmer tomorrow for the tapping of the Golden Keg, 78. Small chance for shower late Friday night into Saturday morning, especially north and west. Otherwise, a warm weekend with highs in the lower to middle 80s.
Well, thank you for watching News 8 Now this morning. Don't forget to keep up with news of the day on news8000.com, and we'll have the latest updates to today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. Have a wonderful Thursday and happy festing.